Let's look at 8. Okay, Wind Fang, okay, this should be standard, right? Just colored pairs. Stone Fang, colored pairs. Imminent Rain, this should just be group 1 left, group 2 right. Okay. Okay, for Millennial Decay, what I prefer, and EU does this, I actually prefer Dragonhead North. Do you guys like Dragonhead North or True North? Because I think it's better for Dragonhead North. That way you're always in the same spot every time. Okay, I guess you're in the same spot basically, you have the same movement. I'll put it that way. Doesn't matter, both are free. They're the same. I guess it ultimately doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess you could do either. Okay, anyway. Okay, have to do it this way. Have to do it this way. 2 dragon heads. So who pops first? Yellow? It really doesn't matter. You can pop green first. You can pop yellow first. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so all of this is like pretty much the same. Okay, now for Terrestrial Rage. I kind of like this one. Check it out. I know it looks weird, but when you do this, I found it to be very easy, and I also found it to where you never really have to worry about uptime. But I like this, actually. I did this for the first time the other day. I'm actually a big fan of this. Okay, look, there's 2 different ways to do this. You can have the spreads like this, and then the stack, I guess the stack right here. Or you can do this. I kind of like this. Now, do I prefer it? I don't know if I necessarily prefer it, but I can see why people would like this better. But, I mean, both are fine. I've actually cleared more with this, so I'm like more used to this one, but I do enjoy the other one. Terrestrial Rage. Yeah, okay. All right, now, okay, Moonlight. All right, Moonlight. Now, before we look at this, what Moonlight strat do you prefer? Quad. Is quad Moonlight where you put everything in the same quadrant? Yes. Okay, so this is Beacon. I want to say this. I am fine with this. I feel like this is how the mechanic is supposed to work. Would you guys agree or not agree that this is probably the hardest or one of the hardest mechanics in the entire fight? Because I think that this is the hardest or one of the hardest. I feel that if you're progging this fight or trying to clear this fight, your prog or clear will be completely dependent on this single mechanic. So that's fine that you think it's easy. I wouldn't necessarily say it's easy. I would say it's a very medium difficulty mechanic. But the problem is for 8 people. That's where the difficulty comes in. Okay, so there's this one. This is Quad Moonlight. I actually like this strat. And the reason why I like it is because there are some patterns where it is 100% completely free. This one's fine, but I do like this one just as much, if not a little bit more. So I'll just tell you the easiest pattern. So let's say that this sword is cleaving this way, and then this guy is cleaving this way, and then, I don't know, this guy is cleaving up here. Okay, so there's some patterns where one quadrant is safe the entire time. And when those patterns happen, you can literally pre-position the entire party, and that is fucking poggers. You cannot do that with any other strategy. And I think that because you can do this, I think that it is better. Also, another huge thing, you do not put the stack in the middle. And maybe it's just my experience, but when I was progging this, my prog on this mechanic was absolutely horrendous. So if you don't put the stack in the middle, if a stack goes on top of another stack, they just kill each other, but they don't kill the party. So I think that there are advantages to doing this. Like, I like this strategy. I think this strategy is pretty good. There is a downside, though. The downside is it's kind of tight. It's not as tight as it looks, but it is kind of tight. That is a downside. Whereas the other strategy, in like this one, for example, you have way more room. Okay, you know what? You actually brought up a good point, Eagle. So in this strategy, for example, okay, so let's say we have nothing. Let's say that you're a melee and you have nothing. You can actually stand here, max melee, get a GCD, fuck off, and then come back. Whereas it's very, very, very difficult to do that with this. Like, I would say that if you're trying to do that on this strategy, you're probably griefing. Oh, that's another good point. So in this strategy, let's say the sword, let's say it starts down here, right, and goes like this. Okay, so this means that this guy right here is going to be the last cleave. Like, the sword is over here. Well, you can actually, like, let's say that this guy's just a little too close. Well, you can actually move into this cleave slightly after it goes off. Since you're really close to it, you can actually do this. Which one do I like better? I mean, I like them both about the same, but I think if I had to choose, it would probably be this one, actually. I think I would choose quad. Are we quad nation? Quad nation. Hopefully Party Finder starts to use this, but at the end of the day, if they stay with this, this is fine too. Okay, so this is P2. So let's see, group 2 right, group 2 left, that's standard. Okay, all of this is standard. You have a conga. Okay. All standard so far. I'm pretty sure this is universal. Like, I'm pretty sure the EUN and A do this shit. Yep. Standard. Okay. Move south to Bait Moon Cleaver. Party moves northwest, northeast platforms for stack. MT to southwest. Okay. OT to southeast. One tank will get marked. Okay. Highest enmity tank will be hit with elemental purge. Okay, so in this strategy, the group would actually have to go to. Okay, so let's say that this prey marker was on this guy. The group would have to go over here. Okay, but if you have a warrior, you could actually have the group stay here the entire time. Because regardless if the warrior gets the cleave or not, the warrior can take the cleave with Holmgang. It's a warrior moment. Warrior is the only tank that can do that one and have it up for enrage. After towers teleport, we'll now have 6 seconds. Yeah, so why don't people have these two guys go to this platform automatically? Okay, so right after this tower goes off, if you quickly move over here, that means that it guarantees that the tether will spawn on these two platforms. So after that does, these guys just go back. These guys take this, and then this guy will take the tether over to them. Yeah, you'll make it in time for the cleave. Yeah, but honestly, man, now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of doesn't matter. So melee takes a tether. Okay. I mean, all this is standard, right? I mean, there's like very small adjustments, but for the most part, it's just fucking take the tether over there. Okay, and then bait the cleave. Okay. And then all this is the same. Yeah, all this is the same. Okay, Wolf's Lament. Here's the thing. The group should actually be over here. The DPS should actually be over here. So ignore this raid plan because there's no reason the DPS are southwest here. The DPS should be over here. Is this the updated one? Okay, here we go. Yeah. So the DPS are southeast here. You're going to get a DPS with far. They're going to be tethered to a tank. The only variation in this is this 2 tower can be over here. But if that's the case, the tank and the close DPS just take this one. Otherwise, they move over here. That's it. These guys are going to move. I don't think the towers actually shouldn't be spawned yet. Okay, the towers actually don't spawn yet, so you don't know, but whatever. But yeah, Lone Wolf's Lament should be DPS southeast. And then, I mean, all this is standard. There's like one way to resolve it, right? So Heroes blow. Dude, I swear to God, man. Dude, I don't know if you guys think this way. I can never tell what angle the boss is holding his sword because he holds it in such a goofy fucking way. So what I started to do, I just always go in front of him or back of him. Like if I'm on his side, I say, fuck that. I'm going in front. And that's the only way I can tell because he holds it at like, it's weird because he doesn't hold it just like on one side, you know, he holds it like this. So it's like kind of on both sides. And maybe I'm just like absolutely fucking stupid, but I cannot for the life of me tell, like when I'm looking at other shit. So I always just go in front. Oh yeah, the raid plan's off because his arrow is right here. Like I always just go to the nipple or away from the nipple. And I just go immediately. If I see the sword, I immediately go to the front or to the back. But if I don't see the sword, I just stay there. Okay, so then after this, so we try to return to southwest, southeast. Okay. So actually what we do here, guys, is we actually return to our platforms. Yeah. Okay. So check this out, guys. Check this out. So everyone move back to their tower tether platform. And the reason why this is important is because you get defamations here, right? So if you see here, if the DPS get it, it's already free. If you position yourself like this and the DPS get it, it's always free. We wiped a couple times to this and we were getting frustrated and we just said, fuck it. And when I say we, I mean Arthur's and Hada. So basically you always go back to the platform that you were on because what this does is that means that there is always going to be a tank here. There's always going to be a tank and DPS here. There's always going to be like a singular DPS here, a singular DPS here, and then 3 down here. Now, there is a curse pattern, and I will get to that in a second. Okay, let's do the easy one first. If it's an easy one, that means all DPS get it and one other person gets it. Okay, so that means this guy doesn't move, this guy doesn't move, this guy doesn't move, and this guy doesn't move. So already 4 out of 5 players just plant. They don't move. So there's only 3 people that would have to move. And that's this guy just goes here, this guy goes here, or this guy goes here. Boom. Easy. If the DPS get it, no DPS moves, and the one support that gets it just moves to this platform. That's it. That's literally it. That's the easy one. So now let's go to the supports. So you got 1 here, 1 here, and then 2 here. Okay, so if it's the supports, this guy goes here, and everything is solved. If it's on this guy, he goes up. So basically, if it supports and this guy gets it, he goes up. If it supports and this guy gets it, he goes over here. So it's kind of the same rules as the DPS getting it. Now, what if this guy gets it? Okay. If this guy gets it, then that means this guy has to move and this guy has to move. And that is the curse pattern. So if it's cursed, you just have this guy go here. Then you have a DPS move here. This tank goes here. This tank goes here. Now, I know that seems like a lot of movement, but the chance of that happening is actually the lowest. Once you explain the strategy, the 2 tanks will know that if it's called cursed, they just move to the left. Like, you hear cursed, move to the left. Let's say it gets on these 2, right? Let's say there's 3 right here, and then 4, and then 5, okay? So we call cursed. I move, Perez moves, Dancer moves. And then obviously he moves. So you have everybody just move 1. What if Sage starts with Black Mage? Black Mage moves 1, Sage moves 1. That's it. Yes, I know voice callouts in Party Finder. I understand that. Yes, I understand that. Which is why you would have to use your eyes. But I don't think people are going to adopt this in Party Finder. I think people are just going to, in Party Finder, what I think is going to happen is I think that people are just going to die to this until they get a god pattern and then get past it. That's what I think. So then this is the end of the fight, yeah? So then this is just the end? Party stack, tank and Vuln, kitchen sink, tank and Vuln. Yep, every remaining bit. Yep. Yeah, this is all standard. Okay. Yeah, and then you just go. Yippee! Boss dead. Yay! They did it. They did it. I mean, I think that this tier was a 10 out of 10, man. I think this tier is fucking awesome. I think M6 is a banger fight, man. I think M8 is actually a banger fight. It's actually one of the best final turns in a long time for me.